Hey, Tooth and Corners, let's talk about fraud today. This is an update. I've done some episodes in the past about fraud, and at our firm, we've seen the usual suspects. We've seen checks that have gotten stolen from our clients, where they've been washed to change the payee and the amount. Sometimes cash will disappear from the front office, sometimes by people you trusted to actually handle that cash. Wire fraud, especially in real estate, deals where emails can get intercepted and bank info gets swapped at the last second. Those are big ones. And of course, credit card fraud, whether it's a stolen business or someone who just uses your credit card when they're not supposed to. And we're not new to this. I've helped clients work through a lot of these things, and usually there's a process to catch it and report it and at least recover some of the loss. But in today's episode, it's different. Today I want to walk you through a real situation that recently happened to a dental practice owner. This wasn't an internal theft. It wasn't phishing. It wasn't something a team member had clicked on. This was an attempted fraud of over $100,000 with at least $65,000 successfully stolen. This was all through what was a normal online bank dashboard. So this practice was a newer startup practice based in Georgia. And one day during payroll review, they noticed that there was a strange outgoing payment. It was a payment to an OBGYN clinic, one that they'd never been in. That was a completely different state. And it wasn't a one-off mistake. As they looked deeper into it, they actually realized that somebody had actually gained access to their Bank of America online banking account. They'd created a new vendor in that portal. They'd scheduled a payment through the payments and invoicing feature inside of the online banking app. And one thing that's really bad is that it wasn't an ACH, a credit card, or a Zelle payment. It was a completely separate section of the banking interface. And it was one that I've personally not seen be used before, but apparently it's a thing now. The bank didn't flag the transaction. There was no 2FA for the transaction, no vendor verification, no phone call, no alert. And the practice only caught it 2 days after it happened, not because the bank had warned them, but because they were just processing the payroll and noticed that charge. So they did what they were supposed to do. They immediately reported it. They supplied IP addresses, timestamps, device information to Bank of America. And unfortunately, supposedly that was a denied reimbursement. They had claimed that transaction wasn't covered. And since it was initiated through the business account, the protections didn't apply. This is all according to this person. I could be wrong. This is just my understanding. And I want to be really clear. This isn't about me bashing Bank of America. I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus. I'm just trying to highlight that this could be a larger trend. And the more practice owners that are vulnerable to it, they need to know about it because they probably don't know that it exists. It's probably not just one bad actor hacking a login. It's probably how a lot of banks have added these new tools, invoicing tools and things like that, because everybody's trying to be this new fintech solution inside of their bank portals to attract more people to their portal and things like that. And so it was a Facebook thread that I saw this where it came up. There was other users that also chimed in with similar stories. A lot of them were more from personal accounts, and they were reimbursed. But that was where the caveat came into play. If it's up to the business side, it isn't going to be reimbursed, supposedly based off of the different pieces of this. As CPA firms, we're not trained to go and look at internal fraud. You as a business owner shouldn't hopefully have to be worried about this. But unfortunately, just like good hygiene, you got to have good security measures, and not everybody's trained on that. So that's the reason I want to kind of bring it to your attention. And here's what you can do starting today to help with some of these things. Again, I'm not an IT expert. I'm not a fraud expert. I do own a virtual CPA firm, so that helps me understand some of this because we've got to do some of this in our firm. But use 2FA anywhere and everywhere that allows it. If you can, set up an alert on different transactions coming out of your accounts. You can segment your bank accounts. Don't keep all your cash in one place. You should be reviewing your bank feeds at least monthly. At Tooth and Corn, we do it twice a month for our clients on average. And that's how we can catch things as they escalate. So this person actually caught theirs pretty quickly, but cyber fraud insurance can be helpful. But at the end of the day, there's just a bunch of different pieces to the puzzle. And again, you shouldn't be counting on your CPA to catch these things because services as dictated by the AICPA, by a typical CPA, they are literally not supposed to catch fraud. So this is not something that you can, unfortunately, outsource to someone else to worry about. This is not something that you can just say, hey, I'm being covered because I've got this provider that's with me. It's really not possible to have every nook and cranny taken care of because this client, they could have had literally everything taken care of except for this one component of their business, and it would have been a mess up. Unfortunately, in this day and age, 2FA is critical whenever you log into anything that has access to payments or transfers or anything of the sort. Just be aware that you need to have that set up, as well as make sure your passwords are secure. Make sure you rotate your passwords. At our firm, we have a password app that helps generate passwords and they encrypt them so that even our team members who have access to their apps internally at Tooth and Corn, they don't even know the passwords. to get into their own stuff. It's all done through a password app nowadays. So anyway, that's my best thing. Make sure you've got monitoring set up. Make sure that you're paying attention to what comes in and out of your bank accounts. And it's a lot, right? Like being a business owner, like trying to keep up with just one more thing, it's just a lot. And it's getting to the point where there's just so many ways that the bad guys can come after you. It can be tough. I get it. But 2FA is a good way to be secure in that way. I will say that we try to have our clients' backs as much as we possibly can. We ask consistent questions for anything that looks odd. That's what we're here for, right? Again, that's not designed to catch fraud. It won't catch fraud in a lot of cases, but that's the least that we can do. We do help dental practice owners grow, but more importantly, we help them protect what they've already built. Again, this is a shorter episode because I just wanted you to kind of hear about this being another thing, because I know that a lot of people use these online portals. There's a lot also that is coming out there, like these fintech companies that are doing these kind of wrappers on personal finance, banking apps and things like that. You should definitely be getting 2FA to get into those things and be weary of those. I think that some of them are really cool. I've been trying to test some of them out because I want to maybe roll that out to our clients at some point in time as like a way for us to be able to help people as well. But as of right now, those are still in test phases and not ready for live. But I'm always a little bit afraid of that security that comes along with anything done online nowadays, which is really funny because I was always the like, oh, everything should be online kind of guy. I guess as I'm getting older and I'm getting a few more gray hairs here and there, I'm starting to think maybe the ability to instantly send $65,000 to another person isn't always the best thing, right? Personally, I am surprised that dollar threshold wasn't something that like triggered a requirement. It seems odd that you could pay a vendor through a thing with no security protocols. But if you've ever sent a wire, and if you're a younger listener, you may not have sent a wire. But generally, when you go send a wire, if it's over, I think in mine, over $10,000, I've got to go to the bank physically and fill out a form and give IDs and stuff like that to send that wire. You've got to have the bank and account number of the place it's going to. You have to have the address and the name of the person, and it's all got to match a certain like database or something like that. It's a lot of stuff you got to do. But it's kind of wild to me that you could just send $65,000 from this payment portal just automatically. Now, there could have been 2FA to get into the account. I don't know if this person had that set up for the entry into their bank account originally. If it didn't, then that's a little odd that it was just a login and password, but it had access to all those things. It seems like a bank security issue. Like, you shouldn't let people into that area of the portal if it didn't use the 2FA on the entry to it. But again, I'm not going to pretend that I know any of the rules around banking or any of those types of things that go along with that. But just trying to put it out there again that be careful using all these apps, Zelle, PayPal, all those things. Those all have the ability to send money fairly instantly, and it can be tough. It's dangerous. And it's a world where people are constantly trying to get to your stuff because it's so automated now. It's just a mass push from the bad guys just to get access to people and access to their money. You got to be careful. I probably get 3 or 4 text messages a day of some type of fraud thing. You get dozens of emails every week that are just obviously fraudulent. It just gets worse and worse. It's wild that just clicking one thing wrong can lead to such a massive, massive amount of money being stolen from you. So everybody be careful out there. Go look at your cybersecurity information. This is your reminder to go do that. Talk to your IT person about what you can do to have your practice be taken care of better. And until next time, stay safe, all you tooth and corners. And I hope that your story ends up better than the person who posted this story.